Hello everyone, and welcome to my July Humble Choice review. To start things off, the giveaway winner from last month was Skylight, so congrats to them for winning Game Deck. I'll be giving away another headliner game this month, so make sure to keep watching, and without further ado, let's get to the review. Deep Rock Galactic. Finally, this game has been included in a Humble Choice. I've owned this game for a few years now, ever since it was in early access, and has only just gotten better and better. In this game, you play as a space dwarf who goes out on different mission types in different types of biomes. Each mission has a main and side objective, with other ores such as gold and nitra used for resupplies. There are 4 different classes to pick from, each having a couple different loadouts to unlock and upgrade. I may be a bit biased here as I currently have over 200 hours in the game, but I can definitely recommend this one. Even playing solo, the game is still a lot of fun, and the online community is great and really nice. If you decide you are skipping the bundle this month but still want to try Deep Rock, I'm actually giving it away to one of you guys this month. To be entered to win, simply leave a comment saying Rock and Stone or mention it in a comment, and I'll be revealing the winner in my August Choice video next month. My first time playing Necromunda was definitely interesting. This is pretty much a standard FPS looter shooter where you play as a mercenary working your way through the darkest reaches of Warhammer's 40,000 most infamous hive city. Unless you're a huge Warhammer fan, this game probably won't impress you too much. Yes, the gameplay was fun, and the environment was pretty cool, and I actually really liked the weapons and voice acting. However, this game just brings nothing new to the table, and reminded me a lot of a game I've played called Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. If you like relatively standard FPS story games, and the gameplay has looked interesting so far, definitely look into it, as this was a decent amount of fun. However, did not blow me away by any means. Legion TD2 is a tower defense game, where you use troops to defend your king against attackers. Although there is a large multiplayer player base at the competitive scene as well, I just played the single player mode for this video. This one was a bit hard to get started, but I ended up enjoying it the more that I played. They advertised the game as being infinitely replayable, however I can definitely see this being a bit old after a while. Similar to Kill Squad, featured in the Humble Choice a few months back, there are many different modes to play, and characters and items to use, but the gameplay itself doesn't really change. Some players may prefer this, and if you'd like this sort of tower defense strategic game, you'll honestly probably like this one, and I can definitely see myself opening this again at some point, especially if it's with a friend. Legend of Keepers is a pretty interesting dungeon crawler indie game, as you take the role of a dungeon master trying to stop explorers from making their way through the cave. You use different combinations of monsters, traps, and spells to damage or scare your foes away as they progress. A lot of the reviews aren't too fond of this game, saying it's really repetitive and has very limited progression, which I can definitely see with a game like this. If you're into shorter, less detailed, and more simple games, this one may be right up your alley, as it's a pretty unique idea. However, it seems pretty shallow overall, so don't expect anything amazing here. Ah yes, it's that month again where we get another simulation game. Although, usually these simulator games are pretty good, with this one being no exception. Lawn Mowing Simulator puts you into the role of a young entrepreneur who is just starting their lawn mowing business. However, this gives exactly what it advertises, a simulation game of someone mowing the lawn. The first level almost took me 30 minutes to complete, which is probably one of the longest first levels I've ever played. Can I say I was having fun the whole time I played this game? Definitely not. If you really want to experience mowing a lawn without actually doing it, and manage a mowing company in the background, this game is definitely for you, as it is what it achieves to be. Banners of Ruin is a roguelike deck builder which uses cards for combat and most of the gameplay. This is a very interesting dungeon crawler, where each character has a set of cards and abilities that they can use. When not in combat, different events can occur such as bonus XP or health. The combat is a lot of fun, and the randomized array of cards gives you many different ways to approach each situation. I actually ended up enjoying this game a lot, especially the combat. It kind of reminded me of a mix of Pokemon battles and Hearthstone, which I can definitely get behind. However, as most games included in the Humble Choice, according to the reviews, this game is pretty short and doesn't have much more than 15 to 20 hours of content. As a Humble Choice edition, however, I really enjoyed this one. Yes, Your Grace is a fairly straightforward RPG game, where you make decisions based on your kingdom's interests. The art style in this game is very enjoyable, and I don't really mind the simpler pixelated RPGs every so often. Although for Yes, Your Grace, this didn't really satisfy me like I wished. Most of the dialogue is pretty bland and skippable, and most of the controls just consist of moving your mouse. This wouldn't really be a problem if most of the game wasn't reading and making decisions. Games like this are always nice to be added into the choice, as casual gamers or players on lower end machines can still enjoy them. However, these types of games are not for everyone. There always seems to be a game in the choice I have little to no interest in, and this month it was Adam RPG. This is a turn-based role-playing game where you play as an agent sent into battle to recover information about threats to humanity. I've said this in the past, but I'm really not an RPG guy at all, especially the ones with older graphics and gameplay mechanics. Spending time playing this game definitely felt more like a chore than an enjoyable experience, so I don't want to spend too much more time on it, as I'm sure this is way more appealing to RPG fans. The reviews are really good and it seems like a complete and polished game, so this one I'll leave up to you guys. Well, here we are again at the ranking section of the video. Do I recommend the July Humble Choice? Honestly, it's really not too bad of a month. There's a little something for everyone this month, and no games that I think a large audience will specifically dislike. Yes, there are mostly indie games and no AAA games, but we still got some amazing indies. Let's head over to the ranking screen so I can go a bit more into detail. As usual, I'll be ranking the games not in personal preference, but how much value they add to the bundle. Starting off in the great category, I have Deep Rock Galactic. This is the only game from the choice I can wholeheartedly recommend, as it's a blast whenever I play, and whenever I play it ends up being a few hours. Rockin' Stone.
Rockin' Stone!
Next, in the good category, I have Necromunda, Legend TD2, Legends of Keepers, and Banners of Ruin. These are all games that suck out to be pretty fun, and I genuinely want to go back and play each of these games at least once more in the near future. Though they may not have a ton of gameplay content, they are all relatively unique and give great variety to the choice. Following in the category, I have Lawn Mowing Simulator, Yes Your Grace, and Adam RPG. These are games that didn't really appeal at all to me and stood out as weaker additions to the choice this month. They may have their moments, and all feature gameplay that will be fun to the right player. However, I feel like these games will definitely be enjoyed by a smaller audience. And I didn't have any games in the Humble Y category this month. Good job, Humble. So in conclusion, if you don't have Deep Rock already, and or one or two of these games looks pretty fun to you, I recommend the choice for July 2022. As stated before, I may be biased because of the addition of Deep Rock, however I still thought this month would give a solid variety of games that should keep you busy until at least next month. However, months like this make me miss the days where you could choose how many games you wanted. That way, if there were only 3 games you were interested in, you didn't have to pay full price for the full bundle. Still, definitely an improvement from last month in my eyes. Thank you all so much for watching the review, and I'll see you next month.